Welcome to another podcast episode of the Harris-Elmore and Genoa Libraries podcast with me, Ariel, and Sierra.
Hello, everybody. Excuse my
background.
sniffles. My nose is cold. Oh, thank you.
For those at home listening, if you're not watching, Sierra has a lovely background of the beautiful, beautiful portrait she did at Elmore of book titles and their spine covers.
Yeah, it's right in front of exactly what I meant. It's right inside of our front door, if you haven't seen it yet. I was just thinking, Genoa, do you have a picture of the one at Genoa? You should do yours the same way. All right.
Now that we went down that trail, per usual.
We've got our backgrounds all set and everything. Has nothing to do with what we were going to talk about today.
And hopefully you got a little education piece on Zoom and some fun things you can do.
You can change your backgrounds. And apparently the heart-shaped circle things around your head.
That is new to me. I had no idea. Okay, so February, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to February. Love is in the air.
Sorry, I was looking at something. I got really distracted.
Day.
Chocolate.
Love chocolate.
Tons of snow on the ground.
Yeah, honestly, snow is probably going to be here for a little bit now, finally, since it didn't decide to show up for Christmas. That's the one time everybody wants it. Well, the majority of people.
I know. It doesn't snow on Christmas anymore. No, it comes in February.
I say let's push it back. Dang it.
You want to do Christmas in February because that's when it snows?
Sure.
We'll swap. Valentine's Day will be December 22nd or 25th, and then Christmas will be in February.
Yeah, and like when you kind of think about it, I mean, it'll help break up, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So it kind of like that way you get an even time of break. So you're not so stressed.
Exactly.
A bit of time to unwind, maybe relax a little.
Oh, speaking of relaxation. That's it. I don't even have a segue for that. I started it in my mind with blank. Relaxation. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. It's cold. People don't really do too much outside. You only make snowmen pretty much, or sledding. Maybe a snowball fight or two.
I mean, you could go ice skating. Part of me so bad wants to scrape all of the snow out of my backyard and then fill my backyard with ice because it'd be like the perfect ice skating rink.
Ooh.
I'm not going to do it, but I want to do it so bad.
Honestly, if you have the opportunity, I would tell you to go for it, because one time it was winter, but it was a weird winter where it was still really warm. And in my parents' backyard, the way the land was kind of weird. And it like had like kind of a depth. So all the snow had melted and it was a huge, big puddle. And then it like froze over the next few days. And then we got to skate in our backyard.
See, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was
cool.
That
because then like you don't have to pay and you're not around tons of people or anything. Like you get to just skate however much you want by yourself. I already have my ice skates. I don't have to rent or anything. So I'd be all set.
Because I'm not the most graceful skater. I can skate. I do not fall. However, if I get spooked by like people who can actually skate and they like just fly by me, or they're doing crazy skating moves, it makes me nervous because one, I don't want to get like chopped in half with their blade. And I'm just not that experienced that I feel comfortable around other people.
That's what we used to go ice skating all the time at the Fremont Rec Center. And when we first started going, I was like very, I'm sorry. I was looking down and I look back up and your whole face is just a coffee cup. And she's taking a drink and all I see is coffee cup.
That's funny. It's a little cold today. I needed a warm beverage.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Anyways, it was very intimidating the first couple times being around people that are like really good and they just zoom by you. But if you go long enough and you get used to those people, then it becomes sort of like normal, I guess. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, I skate on the outside. They skate a little more on the inside. They can do the loops and everything, and I can't.
Yeah,
So
that's the one thing I think it'd be cool. I would love to like I learned how to swim and I did stuff like that and how to ride your bicycle, but I would like to take like if I future children to go and just kind of get them acclimated to it because I mean, I think it's a lot
yeah.
easier to learn things when you're younger.
Oh, I totally agree. Yes. Yeah, and I think that'd be fun. I know the Fremont Rec Center does skating classes for kids and stuff.
Yeah, and even if like you didn't learn as a child, I think that it almost like you have I'd say the will and more determination to actually learn how to do it. So it's
Well,
like you really
also,
want to be there.
it doesn't hurt as much if you fall and you're a kid because you're so much closer to the ground. And
Right, right.
you're not afraid of falling as much. Whereas like an adult, there's that fear. And if you do fall, your whole body gets tensed up, then every single part of you hurts.
Yeah. I've also, because you're not supposed to like fall forward, I'd
Mhm.
really just like to wear like some wrist brace or I don't know, knee.
Knee pads, yeah, knee
Yeah.
guards.
But I also know I'd get funny looks for it as well.
I know. See, I want to do the same thing, but it'd be nice if you just had like the whole skating rink to yourself. So if you look ridiculous, no one will know.
Absolutely. I will make you feel a little bit better for those that are like, oh my gosh, like I don't like ice at all. I make myself look like a fool every time. One time I went to a walleye game and it was like this Girl Scouting event because I grew up doing Girl Scouts and it was part of it like you got to go with the players after the game and so you got to like hit some hockey pucks and stuff, which it was pretty cool. Like I thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
And you didn't have skates or anything, but you had to wear the helmet and then you had your hockey stick so you could like hit the puck and try to get in the goal. I don't know how many times I went to swing and I missed that puck every single time.
Oh
All you could hear is
no.
whoosh. That's it. Just the air that I hit instead of the puck itself.
Oh,
It was not good. I
oh, you
finally hit it, but
cried.
it didn't go very far.
Oh gosh. I think that
But
happens
yeah,
too if you're like really excited about something, you're like, I'm gonna do it. And then like you try it and you're actually not good at it or something.
not one bit.
It's okay because like you didn't know if you were gonna be good or bad if you've never done it
Right?
before. Chances are you're not gonna be good at it.
Yeah. And growing up, I'm like, it'd be so cool to play hockey. I would love to play hockey. And now I see the talent is not there. So
That's one
I now
sport I
know.
actually enjoy watching. I don't like any sports. I won't watch football or baseball or anything like that, but I enjoy watching hockey.
Yeah,
I don't
love
know why.
hockey.
It's just fun. I think it's got part of the like, oh, I wish I could skate like that sort of thing in
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I think
It's
that's part of
crazy
it.
to me, like how hockey skates are versus figure skates. So figure skates are a thicker blade
And they have a pick on
versus,
the front of them.
yeah, which I'm still not very good at using those, but you know, I try.
Oh, I'm I'm actually scared of the pick anymore. I can't wear hockey skates, but when I was kind of first going to the rec center and like ice skating, a friend had taken us there. And I think it was our first night back. Like I went years and years and years before that, but then when they invited us, it was like my first time being back on the ice in years. And I was doing somewhat okay, but I don't even remember what happened. But I believe it was my left leg. It like twisted under me or something as I was skating forward. So the pick caught on the ice, but my other leg was going in the opposite direction. So it twisted my left leg completely sideways. And I like my whole leg went numb, but it was also super painful. I was laying on the ground and my friend had to come pick me up off the ice. And I was like putting my entire weight into his arms and he like scooted me, slid me off the ice so I could go sit down. I still have issues with my knee to this day. So
Oh my
the
gosh.
pick part of the ice skates freaked me out so bad because of just that one incident that twisted my knee. I
Mm-mm.
thought I broke something or pulled something. It was the most pain I've experienced.
That sounds horrific. Like, did you get it checked out? Because if it
No,
went, like, immediately numb, it sounds like it could have been, like, some nerve damage there.
I definitely twisted something that didn't want to be twisted because it went
Ooh,
numb, but then it like ignited and it was super painful. But no,
gosh.
I never got it checked out, but it hurt for days afterwards.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, man, that sounds brutal.
Yeah.
Ugh. So, just be careful when you ice skate, that's all.
Just be careful when you ice skate. And if you don't like ice, there's a lot of things you can do inside that
That's
are
right.
way more relaxing and
That's what I was gonna
warm.
say.
Uh, a lot of people don't, they look at relaxing and like taking time off as, I don't want to say time consuming, but it's something like they don't have time for, if that makes sense. Where they
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think
I
so.
don't have time to relax. I'm really busy. But that's the point of relaxing is stepping away from work and away from stress for even just 5 minutes a day and getting away from all the stuff that's driving you crazy. Um,
Right. I would agree with that because I do think there is like a big stigma, especially like you look at other countries and you like kind of look at America and stuff.
mhm.
A lot of people sometimes still don't take like their own vacation time in the
Yes.
States and then they lose it. And other countries are like, I use every day. I don't want to be burnt out. I make sure to take time to relax. And so I
Well,
can still,
there, oh, I don't even remember where it is, but I think there is somewhere in another country where like their work day, like during their work day, that like if it's an office setting or something, they all take a certain amount of time where like it's a break where everybody in the whole office steps outside or they all go take a coffee or something like at the same time. Like everybody steps away from their work to collectively have a relaxing 5 minutes before going back into the stress of it. And
oh,
like
that's cool.
Americans don't do that. We're just
Yeah,
like work, 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 work.
yeah, there is like that stigma. Like it's almost like you can't take any time for yourself. And if you do, like I know I've even said it where I feel like I know I should be doing something else, but I just need a minute to just kind of relax and decompress. But I
Mm-hmm.
almost feel guilty sometimes because I know like there's a lot of other things to be done, but you kind of have to
That's
like force yourself to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a big one for me as well. Like, I don't want to feel guilty while I'm trying to relax because then it's not relaxing. If you're thinking
Exactly.
about it and like, if you're trying to relax and you're like, you're just laying down on the couch for 5 minutes with your eyes closed and you're still thinking about all the work that you need to get done as soon as you open your eyes, that's not relaxing. You're not doing it right.
Hmm.
That's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard, but once you start getting in a routine, I do think it helps. It's always nice to have a support system too. That makes a big
Mm-hmm.
difference. I know, I've had people who are like, okay, I'm gonna do this for you. You just go sit down, take a minute. And I was like, thank you, because I feel so
That's
much better.
nice. Yes.
Yeah. So just it
So
just depends.
it does. And it's really hard if like if you work all the time, if you're in an office or whatever sort of building and you're always working, it's kind of hard to have those minutes. I know you have like your lunch break or something, but I think there's always time to just take 5 minutes and try to do one of the few things that we're going to talk about soon, to just try to, calm your mind and get away from the stress and detox from
Absolutely.
that stress and everything. I feel like one of the easiest ones, which I did put as like number one on here on our list, was to go outside. Even if it's
And
just
it's
for,
free.
yeah, it's free. You can just go for a few minutes. Even if you just get up from your desk or your office and wherever and you go stand next to a window and look outside, it's still helpful. You're getting away from something, you're giving your eyes a rest from your computer by looking at something farther away. If the
Hmm.
sun is shining, you're getting some sunshine into your system, you're getting that good vitamin D.
Absolutely.
And you got up from your desk, so you're stretching your legs and moving around.
Get some
Um,
fresh air.
get some fresh air. I know it's cold and snowy, but it's still good. Cold and
Yeah,
snowy is still refreshing. Just don't hurt your
right,
lungs. Be careful.
right, yeah, right. It
Wear
reminds me of that,
earmuffs.
right? Ooh. It reminds me of that TikTok. I don't know, I can't remember if you're on TikTok or not, but it's like, you'll see somebody like going on for a walk because I need to take care of my mental health, and it's like them
Oh,
stopping outside because they're trying to still like get themselves in check.
Right, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny. Go check it out.
I'm sure a lot of you know exactly what she's talking about. I'm
I
just
wish I knew the audio, but it's like a weird
TikTok
classic
illiterate.
one. It's funny.
But yeah, it's going outside is always good any time of year. Just be cautious, know what the weather's like, don't hurt yourself or anything, but just keep in mind
Yeah.
fresh air is always good for you.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of like parks too that you can go take a stroll
Yep.
around. There's the Corey in Genoa if you like fancier style parks. I know there's some in Toledo. They have a bunch of like crazy trails and stuff.
Oh, they do. Yeah. Gibsonburg has a trail that loops around that oh, I forget what it's called. It's like the Memorial Park and it's got lots of sculptures and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Also the bike trail. I almost forgot the bike trail.
Yeah, the bike
That
trail's
connects our two,
great. It
that connects our
runs,
worlds.
yeah, Genoa, Elmore, Lindsay. It might even go all over Fremont. I'm not sure.
I think it does.
I
I'm
don't know
pretty sure
where
it
it
does.
comes out in Fremont, but I think it goes past Lindsay into Fremont. So yeah, so bike riding. I'm literally like my brain is just thinking of what the weather looks like outside as we talk. And I'm like, I can't picture anybody going bike riding in the
No,
sludge and snow that's outside currently. But
purely walking.
yeah, any other time of year, this conversation makes sense.
I just know people like the trail year round. I don't know if they actively shovel it or anything, so I don't know how safe it is during the
They're
snowy
supposed
times.
to. I didn't see it today, so I don't actually know what it looks like. Because I know there's a lot of snow outside right now, but they're supposed to shovel it off.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry, I'm sleepy.
Going to bed early is a nice, relaxing tool. That's
It
what I've been doing
is.
lately, going to bed early.
I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night. I go to bed earlier and earlier. Like I go to bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock all the time. It's
That's
it's
great.
it's very restful to get those extra minutes of sleep.
Right? Well, I try to go to bed like at least like 9:30, but lately since we've been working on the house, it's been like 10:30. And
Mhm.
then Michael likes to stay up later than me, and I'm like, I'm so tired. I need to leave you. Sorry. I need to go to bed.
Definitely getting enough sleep is really good for you too. I feel like it's a form of relaxation. And it's going to help
Absolutely.
you be more restful in the daytime. You're going to have a little more brain energy to get stuff done. You're going to
Oh,
have
and
more
try to sleep
energy
with,
overall.
yeah, and try to sleep without the TV on. I know a lot of people still do that.
Mhm.
They show that you sleep way better, way more restful, more deep, full sleep when the TV's off.
Mhm.
Because I forget what did I heard it on the radio. They gave a scientific term where it's like your brain can't settle down because it's hearing unfamiliar voices, so it wants to like keep
Oh,
working and keep like figuring out what's going on even though you're trying to sleep.
right. And you're
So
not going to
your
get into
body,
that like really restful REM
yeah,
sleep. I will say
exactly.
if you need to have something to listen to while you're sleeping, I know a lot of people do. My dad is that way. He usually sleeps with the TV on. Um, use your phone and get on, whatever streaming service you use for music or whatever, and look up white noise. And there's so many different varieties of white noises. And they even sell white noise machines if you want to buy one of those online. They're not terribly expensive, but it's better than a TV because what she just said, you're not, hearing weird voices or anything. It's just like you can pick certain noises if it's like it's just rain or static, a ceiling fan, like waterfall. There's so many different types of noises you can listen to, but it's very restful and it helps your brain
Absolutely.
relax a little bit. So you're going to slip into more of a peaceful sleep. Um, you can set timers on it. I think if you like have a shut off for your phone, so your phone's not up all night just making these noises. So
Absolutely.
like after you fall asleep, then your phone will fall asleep and it won't be on all night. But definitely try that instead of the TV. It's more restful, better for your brain.
Absolutely. For sure. The
Uh,
next one that we have, oh, I was just going to say the next one that I know that you had listed, which I definitely agree with while we were reconvening what we were going to discuss for this podcast. Aromatherapy, which I think is so
yes.
interesting because growing up, I never used any of this stuff. If you asked it what I meant or what it meant as a child, I'd be like, I don't know, some sort of therapy. But it's so interesting because you can use it with a diffuser. So, like, if you get bloody noses or the air is dry, using a diffuser, just
Mm-hmm.
putting a couple drops of essential oils can be really helpful, not only for stress, but for calming anxiety. I know that we have a couple of essential oils listed, which is bergamot, which is good for stress relief and promotes relaxation, which I did not know. I typically use lemongrass
Mm-hmm.
and I use orange.
That's what I have those listed too, because they're, I don't even say what their properties are, but they also promote like a stress-free sort of like stress reducer.
Yeah, absolutely. Those just like the scent just reacts with your body and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I use my diffuser at work and I like it. It just kind of helps like you deal with stress better because you do like we are humans and we go through life and there's always going to be high stress levels or cortisol levels. If we want to get technical,
That's
where it
what, and I
just
really,
skyrockets.
I should have looked it up more because I know there's like certain reasons that things help. Because I know like if you have a headache, you can like smell the lemon essential oil and it's supposed to like help
Yeah.
reduce a headache. I think
Peppermint's a
peppermint,
good one for
yeah.
stomach. I use that one a lot.
So I'm like, there's facts and like figures behind all of it. I'm sure like more of a scientific like why this does something to your brain, and I didn't look all of that up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I know some people probably don't like home remedies, but sometimes it does help a person because sometimes like you can't have certain medications, you could be allergic
Right.
to stuff. So it's an alternative to try. I mean, if you're in pain or suffer from it, what do you got to lose, you know?
Hmm.
Give it a whirl and see.
That's what. So I'm gonna take something from a video I just watched on YouTube and share it with you guys, and I thought it was really interesting. And if you want to know more about it, I actually heard about it from Dr. Mike on YouTube. That he was saying that sometimes when people have chronic pain and they take lots of like medicine or steroids or something to help with their chronic pain, sometimes that is actually harder for them or it makes them more sensitive to pain in the long run. So there's like, he was talking about one of his patients that like has chronic pain. And he's like, in order to help you like kind of work through it more and help you like reduce the pain that you feel, he was actually going to try to take him off of the really harsh medicine, the stuff that he's been using to like actually can control his pain because certain medicines are just masking it. They're not actually fixing, what it is in your body that's painful. It's just masking it so you can get through your day and not feel it as much. So he was going to take him off of the harsh medicines and do different types of treatments and therapies and stuff to help manage the pain and actually fix it in a different way instead of just masking it. I thought that was interesting.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. I've been hearing a lot about that more recently. I don't know if it's because I just like to look at other alternatives more recently as like an adult or what, but it just
Mhm.
seems more prevalent now. And I don't know if it's because a lot of people have stayed home and done their own research or what, but I see a lot more of that, which I think is interesting.
I think
I'll
I
definitely be
agree.
looking it
I
up.
agree with that. I'm kind of that way too. Like I don't enjoy taking medicines unless I'm like really desperate. If I'm really sick with a cold or like I'm, having really weird pain or something, then I'll take something for it. But I try not to. And I've always had like this really bad lower back pain that has been getting to me more and more. I don't know if it's like the weather or the way I sleep or something, but it's been really bothering me. So I was trying to like look at ways to like really relieve that tension or see if there was something else wrong with my body that was kind of causing it. So I started trying to just do yoga and stretches every morning. And
Mm,
I've been doing that for like over a week and I actually feel better. So I don't know if like I'm just really tight and like my muscles just need stretched or something, but like just getting up and stretching for like 20 minutes a day seems to be making a difference. And I'm not taking any medicine or anything. So I'm just gonna like keep trying on that path.
heck yeah. Well, and I find it gets expensive, like, and
Yeah.
if for some reason you can't work and you have insurance, like medical disability, gets you through.
Mm-hmm.
like your day-to-day bills, but it's still very difficult to, I think, manage just to survive, to live.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's just the system. I'm sure a lot of people will see they either agree it needs some updates or don't agree, which is fine. But
Yeah.
I've seen some cases where it's just really difficult for people that are trying to better themselves or get past it
Mm-hmm.
and they can't financially, which is really rough.
Right. And it's not for everybody. I mean, home remedies and things aren't just, they're not a surefire fix to anything. They're a,
Absolutely.
they're an alternative if you're looking for one. If you're not and everything's, it's all hunky dory and you take meds and it helps you,
Yeah,
that's good.
I do
We're not
both.
dissing on medicine that helps people in any way. Um,
Yeah, I do both. Whatever I can do to give a good balance, like your work and home life balance. It's the same
mhm,
thing. You just got to do what's best for you, whether it's
exactly.
relaxing, taking some stuff, whatever you got to do.
So I want to jump back to aromatherapy really quick and put this out there that aromatherapy is also not for everybody, only because I know that while they have a lot of healing properties or they're really good for you, in certain instances, they can be very harmful to babies and to cats and dogs. So if you are looking into aromatherapy, just please read up on it first before you start using anything in your home. I mean, if you don't have babies or animals in your house, then you're probably fine. But just keep that in mind because some can be very, very toxic. So that's it. That's my spiel. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, that's why I use it at work since we have a cat at home, just to
Yes.
get
Yeah.
the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I like the next one we have on the list. I think a lot of people probably do this. Listening to music. Now, if you want to relax, I would probably suggest listening to soothing music, especially if you're really like trying to focus on something, if you just need a moment to just kind of breathe, exhale,
Mm-hmm.
focus on your breathing. It can just help you just kind of cool down for a bit.
Yeah.
And I
Um,
like, oh, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead.
I
Well,
was just,
I had mentioned it like later on down on the list, but I was gonna say that the other day I was looking for something really soothing to listen to because I was really cold and I wanted to take a bath. So I'm like, I want something really soothing to listen to while I'm just in the bathtub. So I found these, it's like a meditation Tibetan singing bowls playlist.
yes,
It's
yes, I've seen
it's
those.
it's so beautiful and like it was so soothing to listen to. It's kind of like what I said earlier about like the white noise. It kind of feels like white noise where like it's quiet and it's got like a humming to it and you're just like you can just zone out. It's very nice.
Absolutely. I found those out on TikTok. It just popped up on my For You page, and I was like, wow, this is really soothing.
I
And
want some.
that'd be
They're
really cool.
amazing.
And if, like, I think it goes for anything really. Like, I listen to music when I'm upset, if I need to relax,
Yes.
if I'm just angry or frustrated. Um, I don't really listen to screamo music. However, sometimes it is just very therapeutic when you've reached your limit. No, I do not scream the screamo music, but I let somebody else do it for me.
Yes. Oh, I feel that. Like there is a music. Everybody has to have a playlist for what mood they're in. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
Because I
I
know
have
I
several.
definitely do.
I have
But
like
yeah,
my
for
chill
whatever mood
music.
you're in,
Yeah, soothing. I have jazzy. I mean, I have quite a
right?
few.
If you have like your
Yeah,
summer fun spring playlist, it's kind of like peppy.
absolutely. And then
Yeah.
when I'm
And
just
then
feeling everything, I just like my liked songs. I put everything that I save and just stick it in a
right? It's just like the whatever sort of playlist.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I feel that entirely. Yes.
It just helps. I
Yeah,
also
I
like,
agree.
oh, I was just gonna say, I also like that food is on our list. I consider myself a foodie, love food. Love, love, love.
I love food
Yes, and
so
I love,
much.
which I think probably a lot of people have heard this before, but eating an orange. It's good because it helps keep the stress away, one, but it also gives you a dose of vitamin C, which can help reduce stress, keeping all those vitamins in check. So if you need a quick boost, it helps you feel a little bit better, helps you feel more relaxed. the vitamin C.
Does it count to drink orange juice?
Absolutely. Now, granted, I'm not sure if you were eating the raw orange itself, you'll get as a high, more concentrate would probably be the better word of vitamin C,
Mm,
but it's definitely in orange juice.
I just wondered because I drink orange juice every day. It's like my go-to breakfast drink.
I love orange juice, but sometimes I find it too acidic for me, so I have to be careful when I like drink it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the catch.
It does be like that sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna skip down a little bit to the one that I really, really love, which is stare at some cute animals.
Yeah.
That's always just a fun time. But online, I found that a 2012 study showed that looking at cute images, like pictures of puppies and kittens, can actually increase your concentration.
Oh,
So
interesting.
interacting with animals has been shown to decrease levels of cortisol, which is a stress release hormone, and it can lower blood pressure. Other studies have found that animals can reduce loneliness, increase feelings of social support, and boost your mood.
Oh, no wonder why I like those cat videos.
Right? That's why, like, I love anytime someone brings an animal into the library or something, I get so excited because you spend all
Yes.
day at work without like an animal or something. So even if you're like, you're just starting to feel a little stressed or something, you can go online and just find videos of cute cats playing or something like that. And it works. It kind of reduces that stress a little bit.
Listen, I think I know what I'm gonna promote to the board. If any
That
of the board members are listening, yeah.
we need a library pets because
I
I
would
think
love to have a fish tank.
it would boost morale and it would reduce the stress every time we look at the animal.
Absolutely.
It would boost
The
our
only problem
mood.
is if we did get a fish tank, I would never want to clean it. So maybe we shouldn't get a fish tank.
Yeah, see, fish are real dirty. I liked it. Genoa Library used to have a hedgehog. Not that you
Hmm.
could pet him or anything, but he was so cute and it was fun just to like go in and look at it. So kind of in
Yeah,
that same sense, where like if you're just feeling stressed and you can like go look at a cute animal, it'll increase your concentration and get you like ready to go back to work.
man, I
So it
love
was nice
that.
having him there, even though he didn't do much.
Yeah, honestly, there's still a lot of people that ask about him. We have to break the news, unfortunately. He went to
Mm-hmm.
greener pastures.
He went to
There
heaven with
is,
heaven
heck yeah.
a couple years
And
ago, actually.
yeah, it was quite a few years ago,
It's been a
before
while.
before my time.
Yeah,
I'm also glad that we had this one on the list here. Take control of what you can. I
absolutely.
have really in the past year, that is what I've been focusing on,
Mm-hmm.
because it just seems the world right now is just so chaotic. I don't know if it's just I'm an adult and I see things differently, or I think it's truly part of pandemic related because what
Mm-hmm.
society we knew, it just exploded. Totally different. Social norms have changed. How we interact with people has changed. Um, Certain things that like you can and cannot do still. Grocery stores look different of what's on the shelf. Like there's so much. So I try to
Yeah.
remind myself too, like this is something you can control. Do what you can. What you can't, you just have to roll with it,
Mm-hmm.
which I think I was pretty decent with handling change. However, the past, couple years, I think have been bananas with
As
change for everybody.
I think I did better last year than I've done in a long time. And we've talked about it a lot, even here on the show, of like just taking control of what you can. And like, I don't know, I think we've mentioned it before. And like, that's something I want to kind of like implement in my work life. I should also do it for home, but like, I feel more stressed out at work than I do at home because there's like always
Yeah,
so many jobs to do. But I've tried to take it one thing at a time, or I'll write a list and be like, I can't do these 3 items because I have to wait a couple weeks before this other thing happens. So I kind of write those off and be like, I don't even want to think about those yet. If I can set them aside and think about them when I need to think about them, then I don't have to stress about it. So
absolutely. I think
yeah.
that's a really good way to look at it too, because
So
you got to start somewhere. And if once you try it and you're like, oh, I can do this at home, you can always change your mind later.
right, yeah.
Just
But yeah,
starting
there's
somewhere.
there's no point in stressing about the stuff that you have no control over, or you
Granted,
can't you can't do it right now. Like, everybody's gonna stress. We're human, it's part of our nature, we're gonna do it anyways. But always remind yourself that like it's not gonna help.
yeah, and I know ways like when I was in college and I was on campus and something would happen and I just couldn't do anything about it. Going for a walk helps. I tend to be a
Mhm.
speed walker when I'm upset because I hate running, but I will speed walk. Or, you know, people go to the gym. Working out is
Mhm.
not only beneficial to you, but also beneficial to your mental health. Get all that frustration out in a safe space.
Yeah. And video games are actually really good for that too. If you want to take out some frustration on a video game.
Um, I will say, I think it depends on what type of video game because I played a video game for a little bit this weekend and I was getting very frustrated because I'm like, it's not this difficult. I should have already killed this machine like 20 minutes ago. And I was getting
Yeah.
really frustrated. I'm like, I need to stop. I'm done. And I had to
Yeah.
walk
I
away.
mean, now that you mention it, I had a similar incident where I was in a fight sequence. I was playing a video game and I was in a fight sequence and we were fighting with swords. And I realized that the NPC had my character completely cornered and he would hit me and I would just like immediately die. And I didn't know why. And I realized that I was supposed to push like just two buttons to block, and those buttons decided not to work on my controller. So halfway through the like fight, he would get me cornered and then like I wouldn't be able to move or do anything and I would just die. So after I changed controllers, I was able to win, but it took me a minute to realize that was the issue, that my controller just stopped working on me.
Yeah,
So,
it's tricky. It's tricky.
but I mean, some people enjoy that sort of challenge. They're putting their mind to something and they're like
Absolutely.
relieving the stress by taking it out on an NPC as opposed
Yeah,
to, a real person.
right. I don't know though. Have you seen Free Guy?
Oh, yes.
If you haven't seen the movie, just go watch it. It's pretty funny. At the beginning, you're going to be really confused, but then it works its way through, and you will understand the reference.
It's good. It's very good. And if you love
Because I
Ryan
don't want to
Reynolds, then
ruin
you're
the
gonna love
plot.
it.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin the
Yeah.
plot of the
No
movie for those.
spoilers.
Yeah, but I think it's fun.
So I only have two other things written down here because as I was on a search to find you guys really interesting, fun ways of relaxing, simple things you could do at home, I decided to look up really weird ways of relaxing and things that are like not typical things. And the Tibetan singing bowls was one of them. That uses brass or hammered metal bowls. And when they're struck, they create a soothing, vibrating sounds. If you have like lots of them, I've seen videos of people like they hit multiple bowls, so it creates different levels of the vibration at the same time. It creates kind of like a song. I think that's why they're called singing bowls. The other thing I found is gong baths. I just want to let that sink in. Gong bath.
Yeah, like when I saw this, I was like, "What on earth does that mean? Like, are you
Yeah.
sitting in the gong, or are you in water, and then the gongs kind of ripple the water?"
I feel
So that
like you could be in water, but the one I found says that you simply lie on a mat and relax into the vibrations from the sound waves caused by the gong being struck. So you're just like
hmm,
laying on the floor and they like hit this giant gong and the like vibrations, I guess you can feel it through the floor and it's supposed to like help relax your body as you're laying on the floor. I don't know.
interesting. So, okay. So this kind of sounds similar. So when I was in band, they would call it cadence. So it's what you march down to wherever you're going.
Mm.
And sometimes you could like, or in other performances, you can feel the beat of like the percussion section just
Oh,
going to
yeah.
town. I wonder if it's similar to that, but for different reasons,
It
because like
probably
it would
is.
it would hype us up. So it'd be like, yes, we're finna, we got it,
Mm-hmm.
versus like this sounds way more relaxing versus like getting all hyped to
Right.
perform.
Yeah, it's gotta have a different feel to it. So the article goes on and says that the gong has been used as a healing instrument for thousands of years in East and Southeast Asia. and there's now specialist centers offering gong baths all over the world. I don't know about Ohio. I seriously doubt that we have a gong bath center in Ohio. You're welcome to look it up if you're curious, but other places, probably in America, have similar services.
There
Did you
are
just,
some places. I just did a quick Google search. I just put Gong Bath Center in Ohio. They do exist, but I can't find any that are close.
oh, okay.
Boardman, Ohio is the first one listed,
That's
wherever that
interesting
is.
that there are some in Ohio. There you go.
I'm not sure where it is. It's a center for sound therapy.
Oh, okay.
So it appears they do a bunch of different things. Interesting.
That's fun. I've always got it in my mind where like I always want to try this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like I feel super awkward going into some place, but like I would love to go in and just be like, I don't know what this is. I have zero experience. I don't understand it, but I want someone to walk me through so I can experience it. I would love to experience all this stuff.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I will say, like, when I've tried different things, most people are very welcoming. So they can tell, like, you're a new face, you're not a regular, and they'll usually, like, introduce themselves. They'll be like, oh, if anybody's new. And so you kind of raise your hand, and then they kind of explain things a little bit more since they know new people are there. So I definitely think it's worth the gander.
Yeah. It's good getting out of your comfort zone too. I've done some things recently
Absolutely.
that are outside of my comfort zone, and it's been really nice. And it's things that I feel like now I can go and do again with a little more confidence. So it's always good to try new things.
Absolutely. And for those of you that were wondering, I looked up where Boardman, Ohio is. It's like on the other side of Cleveland,
Okay.
south. So
If you're
it's
really
almost
interested
3
in
hours away.
sound therapy,
Not
it's a little bit
sure.
of a drive, but
Yeah.
it might be worth it. We don't know. We've never tried it.
Absolutely.
So do you want to hit him with the last one?
I'm gonna hit him with the last one. I have seen videos of this. I have never personally have partaken in this activity, but goat yoga is the last one here,
I
which I
want to
think
try
it's
this.
I know, which I'm so curious because like we talked about earlier, being around animals is calming and stress relieving. And yoga also relieving and good for your mind and body. So you combined, animals and yoga.
Yep.
However, I am very curious because the videos I have seen of goat yoga, I don't know if are an accurate representation.
Oh,
Because supposedly learning to balance is what goat yoga is, but while a goat is perched on your back, so it helps train your muscles and gives you time to bond with a super adorable animal. And so there are several studios that do goat yoga in Michigan and Southern Ohio.
see, I did have to look this one up because I'm like, I would go to one of these for sure. And
Now,
that
oh,
was kind of just a description. I will say, like the videos that I've watched and some of the centers I looked at, they do like a smaller class. So they're, someone's up front and they're giving instructions. So you're doing yoga, and then they have other trainers that are kind of walking the goats around you as you're doing yoga. And if the goat wants to stop and climb on you or headbutt you or play with you or whatever, it can. So you're not like, you don't specifically have a goat with you the whole time.
okay. Because the video that I had seen this a while ago, it was like people were doing yoga and then there would just be goats just jumping on them. And
Yeah.
my immediate concern would be like, how much does a goat weigh? Is it going to hurt my back? Because I already have like back issues. Even though I would
Right.
love to try it, like, can I just be like, yeah, Mr. Goat, like, please don't jump on me. You can hang out, we can headbutt, but
That's what I would probably take that in consideration if you have a bad back, because goats can be heavier. But I believe the one center that I had seen videos for, they use younger goats that are small. They're not babies, but they're still really young. So they definitely don't weigh as much as a full, like grown goat would. So it's not going to hurt as much if they jump on you. It's more
mm.
shocking of just like, oh, I didn't expect that goat to just jump on me.
Yeah, I do think though, I like the description that you found though, because I kind of wondered what the goats did other than be cute. So I like that you're also like trying to maintain your balance while interacting.
Right. Yeah.
So
So
it
you're
helps
still
you
doing a
focus
yoga
more.
class, but instead of having the stress of like you're focusing so much on like, am I doing this stretch right? Am I moving right? Your focus is more on like, oh, there's goats around me. It's you're reducing your stress twice, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
absolutely. Because I know the
So
first time I did yoga, I've literally came back from the class and I passed out on my bed because I was so like in like stress relief heaven. I was like, this is amazing.
I will say though, I've been to one yoga class and I felt super awkward because me and my one friend went and we didn't realize that like the group had already been a group for a while, so it was kind of set with all the people that were going. And we got there, we were the only like 20 something year olds, and everybody else was like in their 50s.
Mm,
And they're all
I've
looking
done
at
that.
us. And we were just like, oh, this is so awkward.
I have a similar experience to that. So I used to work at a different library and I assume they probably still offer it, but they did yoga once a month on a Friday morning. And on the days that I didn't work on Friday, because I'd work Saturday rotation, I
Mhm.
would go to the yoga class. And that would be the same thing because, most young people, like, depending on what's going on, or you have to work two jobs, or you
Right.
work nights, or when the class is going on. So I'd be like the only young person there.
Mhm.
I
And
was entertained though. It was a good time.
it feels awkward. But like, yeah, if that's like if you can get past that and you're like at the class, but while you're there, you want to take the class and learn something, you can get past the like awkward.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've met older women they're like, absolutely, it's so good to like keep you stretching and keep
Mm-hmm.
you moving. And I get told all the time, oh, you should come with us. It'll be fun. And like, I find they're welcoming, even though like I'm usually like freaked out for the first 10 minutes because I'm like, oh my God, don't make a fool of yourself. Like, it's going to be fun. Just keep it together.
Well, that was one thing we very quickly learned too, since like they had already been a class that was doing classes for a while, that all of these women were so much better than us. They were so much more limber and like they knew everything and they have great
Yeah.
balance. And me and my friend are just like falling over and it was
You got to
crazy.
start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't
That's
think
what I
they
told
judged us too
myself.
harshly. It was just like when we walked in and we were so out of place for a
Yeah.
little bit.
You know.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You're like, ooh, trying to play it cool, but
But
it's
I
good.
mean, it's still good to try new things, even if you feel funny or out of place. And if you
Absolutely.
get through whatever it was and you liked it, then it's worth going back. If you feel awful afterwards and it was still really awkward, just don't do it again.
Yeah, plain and simple. Peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just some fun things to relax, unwind, all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I almost forgot, but we don't want to leave without doing our um
Our
word
little words.
detective. The
Oh yeah,
word
we're just
detective. So let
well,
me
that's what I was thinking about. I have not looked at what Nathan had sent.
oh,
So I am very much in the dark
I
today.
pulled it up this morning just so I knew it was right here. I wanted to make sure I had it so I could share my screen. And
Oh
then
no.
for everybody listening, we were going to read everything out for you, so don't you worry. If you need like a little refresher about what word detective is, we were doing word scientist, but we've changed it to word detective. So every month, Nathan gives us a new word, something we've never heard of before, and then we get little clues along the way, and we are trying to deduce what this word means. So the word for February is waggish.
Hmm. Immediately I think of a dog.
Me
Like they
too.
wag their tail.
Yeah, that was my first thought because it's spelled Waggish. Waggish.
It almost seems like because I immediately, like you said, I go to a dog and I think about them wagging their tail and how it
Mm-hmm.
makes them happy. So I almost think like I'm waggish to be here. Like I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be
Oh,
here. like let's go do this shindig or something, or like I'm waggish because we're gonna go to a party tonight or something.
See, because part of me is almost wondering too, it feels like an old English word, like something you'd hear something old English people saying.
I would agree with that as well.
I don't have like a really good description, but that's what it sounds like. So we're gonna go look for our first clue. Clue number 1. Waggish is an adjective used for the first time, or at least recorded, in the year 1589, which also happens to be the same year King Henry III was assassinated by his friar Jacques Clement, for a frame of reference time-wise. Okay.
Wow.
So
I love that the friar was the
1589.
one that assassinated the king. Like, wow. I've never heard of a friar leading an assassination.
No. Although, if
Interesting.
he's got to be really close to the king, so it was probably easy. That
That's what
sounds
I'm
awful,
thinking.
but I mean, he was close to him. It's probably easy.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a little inadequate because I wonder what King Henry III was doing that led to this.
Do you wonder how he assassinated him? Because now I'm curious.
I'm assuming with a dagger of sorts.
Are you looking it up?
Oh, heck yes.
Okay, good. I need to know.
Let us see.
Because,
Oh,
poison is
okay.
pretty easy then too.
You will love this one. So apparently, Henry III lodged with his army at St. Cloud and was preparing to attack Paris when a young Dominican friar, as we know, Jacques, was carrying false papers and was granted access to deliver important documents to the king. And so the friar gave the king a bundle of papers and stated that he had a secret message to be delivered and was stabbed.
Oh, he stabbed him. You were right.
Yes.
Did he have them all folded up in the fake papers and be like, here's your paper stab?
Well, that's what I'm trying to read further here. Because surely, I mean, I guess you could carry a blade on your person if you have robes, if it's the classical, like
The
brown robe.
friar, right? Because that's how
Exactly.
the friars dress them.
Yeah, let's see. Well, that's not helpful. Real clear history, not very clear. Let's see here. Let's try good old wiki. Oh, how very interesting. Apparently there were some. Oh, okay. Apparently the friar was a Catholic fanatic. Very interesting. Oh, and so Henry IV assumed the throne of France after and converted to Catholicism. So I see it was based on religion, is what it appears of the
Okay.
stabbing. But it doesn't say
The word
if
waggish.
he, yes, which very interesting. There we go.
Okay, so now I'm thinking that waggish, judging by the timeline, is much older than I thought it was. But it also seems like something people would say with like a negative connotation to it.
Yes, I would just like to clarify. I found a little bit more. So
Okay.
apparently, the friar whispered in his ear, so the king signals his attendants could step back for privacy for the secret message. And Friar Jacques whispered in his ear while plunging a knife into his abdomen. And
What did he
then
whisper?
well, it's fake news because there was no no secret message. And then the friar was killed on the spot by the guards.
Oh my gosh.
And apparently the king's wound did not appear fatal. But then, he did not survive. So apparently it was fatal.
Well, it was.
Yeah, he died the following morning.
Yeah, I feel like in 1589 they didn't really know what to do with stab wounds to the stomach.
Yes. There's a little history for you, everyone.
Yeah, in case you were curious, I mean, this word appeared in the same year that all that bad stuff happened.
Hmm.
So yes, I'm feeling like waggish is said in like
A negative way.
a negative, although it's an adjective.
So it's describing something. It could describe for better or for worse.
True.
I say let's go to the next clue.
Yeah, let's get our next clue. Clue number 2. These pictures all relate in some fashion, but how? Woof. Okay, we have like, it looks like a little cartoon drawing of the devil, a little
Mm-hmm.
red devil with the horns and snake tail. We have a picture of Will Ferrell's elf,
Yeah,
a
Buddy the
picture of
Elf.
Tinkerbell, and the Lucky Charms leprechaun.
Okay, so immediately looking at these, I identify. See, Buddy the Elf kind of seems like the odd one to me because when you think about like Tinkerbell, she has an attitude. She can be either really sweet or really naughty.
Right.
Lucky Charms guy, Leprechaun, he just doesn't want anyone eating his magically delicious Lucky Charms.
I feel like, is it specifically about him though, or is it all leprechauns?
Yeah, but when I see like the little devil here, I don't think of Leprechaun. I think of like being bad or like evil. But Buddy the Elf isn't really evil. He's a just sweethearted little innocent little elf.
Right. Because I feel like, leprechauns aren't always nice either.
Yeah,
So I can't tell, like, is the devil the one that's the odd man out? What do
that's
all these
probably
pictures have to do with being waggish? Are they
yeah.
all waggish? Are their actions
Maybe
waggish?
well, maybe that's kind of where it's going. So like I don't know because it just kind of goes back to what I said earlier. If it could be a descriptive word that's either good or bad, which so far I'm seeing both good and bad here.
I know.
Or are
I
you a
feel like,
rascal maybe? Like stop being waggish,
oh,
like stop being naughty, or like
you say
stop
that's
being
the
annoying.
devil. Oh, the devil's
Yeah,
so waggish. Stop being
and
waggish.
leprechauns can be quite clever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this one's tough.
Oh, excuse me.
Now, do we have 3 clues or only 2? I can't remember if there's a third
I
one.
believe we have 3. I wanted to stay here for a minute and just, I feel like we're supposed to get more out of this and we're not.
I would concur.
Like we're
I just
missing
didn't want to.
something by staring at these pictures. We're just not
Well, 3 out of
picking up on
4 are
something.
green. 3 out of 4 are green. The only one, so they're all green except the devil. But the pictures all relate in some fashion. But how?
Also, I was gonna say something about them being like mythical creatures, but like I don't count the devil as a mythical creature.
Yeah.
So it must have something to do with actions, but no, it doesn't make sense. We're
Maybe being
missing something.
sneaky. Yeah, being
Sneaky?
sly. But Buddy the Elf is what's tripping me up because he's not very sly. He'll tell you the way it is, like, but he won't be mean about it.
So we should base it off of like him. And can we connect his character traits to the others? Or is there
This just
something else entirely? They all relate in some fashion, but how? Um,
people don't get to see them, maybe.
maybe.
Like you don't see them in person.
Because maybe it doesn't mean Buddy the elf. Maybe it's just all elves.
Yeah.
But maybe they're all good at what they do.
This could be true.
So if you're waggish, maybe you're really good at whatever it is that you do. Nathan's probably laughing his head off as we struggle.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna feel
I'm just
so dumb if it makes sense after we read the next clue.
yeah, I just feel better though, like, because at least I'm not the only one and you're not like, I totally get it. And I'm just staring at the screen really
I
confused
wish
right
I
now.
was getting it. I just feel like I'm missing something. Like it's gonna make sense. So let's go down to clue 3. Here is your final
Okay.
clue in a sentence. The
Okay.
waggish man had karma catch up when he tripped on the banana peel he placed on the ground. The waggish
So
man.
so is it naughty?
It must be.
It has to be something like that, because like why wouldn't like the mean man had karma catch up to him or like
Uh-huh. Is
that's
it clever?
See, because I thought that earlier, because like elves are considered to be clever,
Right.
because they get all the pot of gold and they don't get caught. But
Interesting. The waggish man had karma catch up when he tripped on the banana peel he placed on the ground. It has to be one of what we said. Like either it's the naughty man, or like waggish means you're naughty, or waggish means you're really clever and good at what you do.
because when I say, oh, I hope that person gets like karma caught up with them, I'm thinking they did something that was wrong, like or immoral or something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you don't wish karma on someone who's feeding puppies or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Man. Wow. I am stumped. Just like the Wordle today.
Oh yeah. Have you ever, out there, listeners, have you played Wordle yet? It's very addicting. All right.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Shall we go down to probably I think it's the reveal.
I think we have to.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Waggish. Waggishly is an adverb. Waggishness is a noun.
Okay.
It means resembling or characteristic of a wag, done or made in waggery or for sport, humorous. The synonyms include devilish, leprechaunish, pixie-ish, prankish, rascally, scampish, puckish, elvish, etc.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think we're on the right track.
I understand how all those characters, those pictures connect. Wow, that's so weird. Resembling or characteristic of a wag. Now I just want to go back to like, or done or made in waggery or for sport or humorous. So if we go back up to the sentence, the waggish man had karma catch up when he tripped on the banana peel he placed on the ground. So
I like the sentiment of like the rascal, like,
yeah,
oh, he's such a rascal.
The waggish man is like, oh, he's a rascal. He's a rapscallion, He's a prankster. He's yeah.
Wow. See, the pictures with the synonyms, it makes so much more sense.
It makes sense now. I've never heard of something called leprechaunish. That's a new one for me. Or pixie-ish.
I'm not sure how often I'll use waggish in everyday conversation.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It just took us a long time to really kind of nail anything down, and we weren't entirely right. Although the first definition does say resembling or characteristic of a wag. Does that mean like a dog wagging its tail?
Yeah, see, it doesn't really quite say. I'm not sure.
I'd like to just be partially right. Because we said that first.
Yeah, because there's a couple of words like I've used in conversation that we've learned in this segment, but I'm not confident about this one.
You must use waggish all the time now.
I will try.
I don't know where you're going to fit that in, but you have to do it.
Oh
my gosh. Sorry.
There's more?
I forgot to scroll down. There's a Merriam-Webster definition. So the dark history of waggish. It has dark history? Oh my gosh. One who is waggish
the devil.
Acts like a wag. What then is a wag? Etymologists think wag probably came from waghalter, a word that was once used for a gallows bird. What? That is a person who is going to be or deserves to be hanged. Waghalter is apparently shortened to wag and used jokingly or affectionately for mischievous pranksters or youths. Hence, a wag is a jokester, and waggery is merriment or practical joking. Waggish can describe the prank itself as well as the prankster type. The class clown might be said to have a waggish disposition or be prone to waggish antics.
Oh,
Well, that
okay. I like
cleared
the mischievous prankster.
up everything. So when it says resembling or characteristic of a wag, this is what it was talking about.
That makes sense.
So that cleared everything up. I have no more questions. I'm glad I scrolled down. I almost didn't. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you did, because I would have probably looked at it later, like reviewing this afternoon, and then been like, oh, look at that.
And I was looking at this like, this doesn't feel like enough of a definition. I'm sure there's more to it somewhere. And I looked at the side of my screen, I can see on my Word doc that like there's a lot of space left for scrolling. And I'm like, oh, I could probably still scroll down more. And I'm glad I did. I just have to remember to actually pay attention next time.
What an interesting word choice once again.
That was really good. Actually, that was really fun. We're really terrible at discovering what new words are.
Sure am.
But we still want to keep doing it because then we're learning something and you're learning something just by listening.
Absolutely. And I know, like I've mentioned this before, but this really reminds me of a substitute teacher I used to have in school, and she would give us a list of new words I had no idea existed.
Yep.
And this very so reminds me of it, except she would use every word in that class session. But we only do one, which I'm very thankful it's one.
No, that's a lot of fun. I was doing that for a while here at the library. We have like this really big dictionary, and I haven't done it since COVID hit, but I had like one of those letter boards, and I would just pick out a
Yeah.
random word that nobody's ever heard before and put it on the board and just challenge people to just flip through and find it in the dictionary and discover what it meant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
We used to do that too, but we haven't since COVID.
Yeah,
We're doing
exactly.
other things to try and see what people like.
Yeah, so always trying new things. Speaking of new things, we're playing a game, hopefully next podcast episode. And then
Oh
you'll
yeah.
see some new faces, probably people that we've had on before, some of our coworkers. If not, they'll be new to you. And yeah, so new games. We were talking earlier. We got some new ideas for things we want to talk about in the following months that are really exciting, possibly apocalyptic. But you never know.
Who knows?
Who knows? It could be. But thanks for listening and joining us for another episode of the Harris-Elmore Genoa Libraries podcast. And we'll see you next time.
Right, bye, everybody.
Bye.